Good morning. Welcome to Wednesday morning's live stream. Hopefully you're having a blessed day today. Really excited that you're here. I'm excited. It's sunny out. It's starting finally to warm back up. We've had a little bit of cold spell, but it's going to be a fantastic day today. We're in the groove. We've been rocking and rolling, and we're going to extend that here today. The market's been quite beautiful, I should say, in the pre-market session. And if you've been wondering why I haven't taken as many trades in the New York session, it's because I'm adapting to the market. I have to adapt. We all have to adapt because the market isn't going to change for us. We have to change with it. So I've been noticing that the pre-market has been playing out very, very nicely. I'm currently in a trade right now. We'll get into that here in a little bit. But hopefully you're having a great day this morning. If you're here for the first time, I'm really glad that you decided to join us. We're going to be talking about ICT concepts, order blocks for value gaps, breakers. We're going to talk about entry models, entry techniques, all that stuff. Answer any questions that you have. It's going to be a good time. So really glad that you decided to join us. Also, if you're looking to take your trading to the next level, you can do so by using the code DTJ. DTJ will give you anywhere from 30% off on a Take Profit Trader account or Tradeify account, or up to 90% right now with Apex. You can use that code DTJ, and it will give you the most updated discount available. You can check that out down in the description as well as on the screen right there. And with that, let's go ahead, open in prayer, and then let's go ahead and get started. Father, we honor you this morning. We thank you for your goodness and your faithfulness. Thank you that you're always watching out for us. Thank you that you care about the needs, our daily needs, Father. And as we seek first your kingdom and your righteousness, everything else is provided for us. So, Father, we fix our eyes on you. You are the author and the finisher of our faith, Father, and we thank you that we will receive what you have for us today. And we honor you in everything that we are and everything that we have. In Jesus' name. And everyone in the chat said, amen. Amen, amen. Okay, folks, we're going to have a good day today. Let's go ahead and take a peek at the market. Let's see what the market's doing. And let's see if we can adjust and work on that. So currently, if we take a look at the 30-minute time frame, you'll see this candle right here. This candle closed inside the range right here. So we went down to the 3-minute time frame at 9 o'clock, and we looked for a 3-minute fair value gap, which was right here and right here. And so I'm currently in a short position right here, which also lines up with a breaker right here. And that was the confluence that I was looking for, is some overlapping confluences. We're going to look at targeting this sell side liquidity right here. We also have the new day opening gap sitting down here. I have my stop sitting up here approximately. We'll get into and take a look at that position here. But let's first talk about the market and the higher time frame to figure out a bias and figure out what we may be looking at today as far as opportunities. So let's look at the daily here. Let's go ahead and mark out the daily high and low and mark that here. So we got our daily high and low. Ultimately, I would say I'm bullish. I'm looking at us hitting this previous week high. I would like that to be hit. I just would like to see a retracement first before we do that. And that's what I'm currently looking at playing, is that retracement. We have our midday. Our midpoint of yesterday's range, which lines up with this order block. That's really attractive in my opinion, meaning we could see price come to this level here. That would be really nice if we could see that. I would personally like that. Looking at the 4-hour time frame, we had a nice retracement here, and we had quite a bit of an expansion. Around 6 a.m. we saw this expansion. So we did dip down into this 4-hour fair value gap. So that may be enough as far as us trying to dig deeper. We'll see. We'll need some more information. But you look at the hourly, we've swept that high, we've closed higher, and honestly, the only thing I'm really looking for price to do is come down into this hourly fair value gap. So this hourly fair value gap is what I'm looking for price to do and drop down into. We'll see if it wants to do that here. And then we have our opening range gap. We have our previous day session low, which we swept. We've already ran our London high. I've already marked out our our midnight open and our new day opening gap and our opening range gap. So everything is marked out. We're all ready to go. Now it's just a matter of figuring out the narrative on how price may want to take a shot at our targets. Let me go ahead and add. Is it going to add that? I know I haven't. Well, let me show you the position here. I don't know why it's not working. Well, that's unfortunate. I'm trying to show you my position and it's not working. Here, I got another way I'll do it. It should pop up right there. So that is the position right there. You can see that. We're currently dropping right now and running for 21,484. That's what I'm looking for. I'll see if I can get it working here. Market's going to open in 7 minutes. So I'm seeing if we can, I would preferably like us to reach down that level before open and close the position, unless it just wants to continue to expand. All right, so that works. There we go. All right. How's everybody doing this morning? We got Jesse, Plumix, good morning. Brother Francisco, how you doing, my friend? Ian, Douglas, good morning. Matthew, Noah, good morning. Danielle, I think it's Danielle. Junior, Rod, Douglas, I already said that. Jesse, good morning. Monet, how are you? How to do? How are you guys doing this morning? Good morning from Brazil. Good morning, good morning. All right, we just slapped the previous day high. I want to see if we can push to that low and get one of these contracts sold. If we completely lose this candle, I will close one position and move my stop to break even. Well, we lost all of that, so I'm going to go ahead and let's see if that wants to push right now. Be patient. I'm going to take one position off. And I'm going to move my stop to break even before the open specifically. That's the main reason why I'm doing this. We'd like to see price. We're going to have a very small opening range gap. So it could be a little choppy this morning, but I'm really looking for that to take place. We'll see if we can get that, bring that up a little bit. I'll move this lower to see if we can see how low this wants to go. There's definitely room for us to run lower if it wants to, but ultimately we're just looking for that tag of the hourly BISI here, and wanted to see that run there. Once we hit that BISI, we'll look at it, if we want to adjust our position. Christo, good morning. First time, please help. What futures are you looking at? Top right corner, you'll see the contract that I'm currently trading. We're going to have a small opening range gap, so I'm not interested in 930. Typically, I want this to be larger. We're right at the previous day high. So a lot of confluences right here that make it the main reason why I ended up selling one of my positions. Now, there's a little bit of push. Let's see if we can get through that and hold it. If we mark our premium and discount from this high to the low, midpoint is just at opening price. So that looks like a good level, 472. I think that's where I'm going to set my limit order. 472.50 is where my limit order is set, right at equilibrium of this price leg from high to low. Hopefully we don't get wicked out by the opening bell. I better move this down just a little bit so it doesn't, get too aggressive. I don't like how we've stagnated right here. It's a good opportunity for price to begin to move the other direction. Yeah, that's what I don't want to happen. Tie-dye. And it could just come up to the breaker and retag the breaker and then move in our direction. We'll see what it wants to do. We have an order block right here as well. So an order block overlapping with the breaker is nice. We'll see if it's going to do that or not. But we got 17 seconds. More than likely, it's just might just pump right through this. This is why I have it at break even already, to protect any positions that we have here. 2 seconds. All right, got tapped out for that last contract. Nice winner for me on that one. We collected a total of about 20 handles on that trade. That's all that I'm looking for. Do that on a consistent basis. Sweep of liquidity back into the 3-minute fair value gap. This would be a great spot for us to sell off again. Let's take a look at the 30-minute. 30-minute swept the low, closed inside, tagged the previous day high. This is a signature in price. I really would have liked the hourly to be tagged, but this could just push straight higher right here if it wanted to. But it's the opening price. We got a lot of volatility right off the open. Price could go any direction at the open, so we'll see what it wants to do. I'm starting the Apex evaluation that I got yesterday for $16. Oh man, it doesn't. That just honestly, it's nice when you hear that you were able to purchase something for only 16 bucks. That's really nice. So, way to go. I hope it works out, Douglas. If it's up, praise God. If it's down, praise God. Yes. Now, can you do that if you're in it and you expect it to go up, but it goes down? Let me just say, put a stop loss, put a tight stop loss, and then say, thank you, Jesus. What's up, Jayon? We took a quick short. I was in a short pre-market before I started. Took one at 20 handles. The other contract got stopped out at break even at the open, which is, I kind of expected it. Wanted to see if it wanted to push lower. So I've been changing the way I've been trading, or when I've been trading. I've been getting on earlier because I've had a lot of success in the pre-market as of late with just how choppy and how crazy the New York session has been. So this week I've been pretty much done trading or have gotten all my wins in the pre-market. So on Monday, I even traded pre-market. On Tuesday, I traded pre-market, and today I traded pre-market, and it's green all 3 days in the pre-market. So I'm just adjusting my trading based on what I'm seeing in the market. And if you've been on with me for the past 3 weeks, you'll notice that, or past 3 or 4 weeks, it's been extremely frustrating over the New York session, at least for me. And so I've just been trying to change how I'm trading to adjust to the market. We have to adapt. We have to adapt to it. So that's what I've been doing. So I'm already green on the day. We will be looking for some more trades, but are going to be very selective and careful on the trades that we take. We just want to be wise in the decisions. Think about every trade that we're taking. Premeditate on where we would place a stop loss. All that good stuff. Ty, I have been trading the 1 minute, 3 minute, and 30 minute. That's kind of what I've been watching as of late. I should say 30 minute, 5 minute, 3 minute, and 1 minute. I'm looking at the 30-minute model in the pre-market, and then I'm looking for my breakers and 5-minute change in states of delivery. Let's go ahead and do our daily affirmation. All right, here we go. Here's today's affirmation. Today I trade with faith, not fear. I trust the process. Stick to my plan and let God's timing unfold. Every challenge I face is shaping me, not stopping me. For we live by faith, not by sight. We live by faith and not by sight. I trust the process and I stick to the plan. I can't tell you how many times I've looked in the mirror, looked at myself in the mirror, and I've said, you follow your rules. You follow the plan. You don't take speculative trades. You take premeditated trades. I do that because really the reason most people aren't profitable is because they lack the discipline to follow their rules. They lack the discipline to not take a trade. I mean, even yesterday, I took a spontaneous trade on stream, and I was like, what the heck am I doing? Why did I just take that? It's so easy to take a trade and not think about what you actually just did. Oh, that looks good. Oh, let's try that. Let's see if we can get something out of this. And it ends up hurting you. So that's our affirmation for today. hopefully I try to give different ones every day. A lot of them come from my quiet times that I do every morning to share with you. If there's a specific verse that's been on my heart or that the Lord highlights to me, I try to share that in my affirmations with you guys. Since the opening bell, we haven't had a single fair value gap, so we are still sitting and waiting for that. I think we do have a little bit of news today. It may have already happened. Let's take a look. Today's Wednesday. We have 1 p.m. FOMC minutes. So we're going to be done trading by 11. We're going to be done trading by 11. Feels like Apex is trying to get rid of profitable traders. It's so weird. I've been profitable now. They're trying to transition me to a live account. Been seeing a lot of posts as well on forums. So I'm keeping an eye on this, Nanya, because I've heard the same as well. A couple things to note: if you do get that email, they don't take away any of your evals and they don't take away any of your PA accounts. But what it does require you to do is not have it eliminates your ability to just, YOLO a eval account and try to pass it and then get another one. So you get to keep your accounts. I haven't gotten it, but you get to keep your accounts. You're just going to have to make sure you don't blow that account. Yeah, if you want to send me what you received, I'd be interested in receiving that, Nanya. You can email it to me at dtjacademy.com. All right, so there's a pop higher. Looks like we're going to run for the previous week high. That's the level I would love to see either a reversal or a continuation from. We wait for the first 15 minutes of the market. We're going to go ahead and mark our 930 price opening price. And then this will probably be potentially our first presented fair value gap right here. This is why, one of the reasons why I started, Nanya, is started providing different prop firm accounts is because of the varying opinions of Apex. I haven't had any issues with them, but I wanted to find some other options for people. And honestly, if you're looking to find an account that's actually cheaper than Apex because you're profitable, you can TPT, Take Profit Trader, is only $120, and right now Apex is $156. There's my email. Watching this volume imbalance on ES. And we already swept the highs. Apparently we just tagged. Did we just tag that? And I'm not paying attention. We did. We just tagged the previous week high. and at the same time swept these levels here. Okay, we're looking for either a reversal with displacement, or we're also waiting for NQ to hit a key level as well. And for me, it would also be this swing high over here, which is in the opening, the volume imbalance. So we're still going to be patient, not going to rush anything. Raise the king, equal lows. Yeah, right at the equal lows are right at the midpoint of the opening range gap and the previous day high. All sitting right here. This does look attractive. This looks kind of like a manipulation leg so far. If that's a manipulation, that'd be really nice. We also have our first presented fair value gap. We'll go ahead and mark out right there. So I'm currently, if we can get some displacement, change in state of delivery, and we can get some nice structure, maybe something like this, I would look at targeting this level down here. Honestly, no. If you looked at what I just did, Matt, I went high, low, and I made a higher high right here. During this price leg on NQ, I'm hoping that ES hits its level. That's what I would like to see. Now, if ES is not going to make a higher high and not going to reach its level, I'm going to need additional confluences. Basically, I'm going to need lots of displacement and speed, which makes it very hard to participate in a move like this. So if we don't get that structure, then we may miss the move. That's just the reality of it. We may miss the move. So I'm sorry, I didn't do that correct. That's my email. I gave you the website. If you want to be aggressive, you could play the close of this first presented fair value gap, the inversion of it. I'm kind of hesitant on that, but there's literally nothing else. There's nothing else here. So it's 9:45 right now. Technically, I have a green light to take trades. We still don't have this close. It does look aggressive. I may take one contract, go very light, and see if we can play the inversion right here. Meaning my stop is not going to be really at risk. My stop loss is going to be placed at the high. And I'm only risking about $80 to take this trade, to see if it just wants to have momentum and keep running lower, which I have the feeling that's what it wants to do, but you never know. We also need to watch 9:30 here. ES also closed below it as well. Let's look at the 5-minute here. Like I said, I took a starter position to see if we actually want to continue to move lower here. I took it based on the inversion of the first presented fair value gap. And I'm going to set a target at 21,472. That's the midpoint of this range and the end of the opening range gap. I don't like how we closed right at 930 right there. Well, we see if we can be aggressive and continue to push lower here. Going to go ahead and move my stop to break even. If I had one extra contract, I'd be selling one right here. I may even just say, hey, I'm going to take the position, take the trade. Did we hit this? We haven't hit the low yet. I'm going to take this off right here because I've allowed too many things to go back to zero. And since I only took one contract, I'm just going to close it and call it a win. We got 30 handles out of that. There's a 30 handle trade right there. And like I said, if I had more than one contract, I would have taken one off there and held this to the rest to 21,472 would have been my target. We just we're tapping the new day opening gap right there. And this is the end target that I was wanting to shoot for, but ended up closing my position. Let's see if it hits it. When you're trading with small size, getting bigger trades is definitely harder. In my opinion, small number of contracts, because if you're only doing one, it's either break in or nothing type mentality. So there's target. We just tapped right there. So final target was hit, and that's where I'd be selling my full position if I had multiple contracts on that trade. Nice quick inversion, fair value gap based on us tagging the previous week high. That was based on the higher time frame analysis was based on us tagging the new week opening, the previous week high, and seeing the aggression the other direction. We took the entry based on the close below or the inversion of the first presented fair value gap, targeting equilibrium. Now that was equilibrium based on the pre-market range. Equilibrium now, if we drag it all the way up here, was right at these equal lows. But did you see how we referenced the pre-market levels? We referenced that pre-market level. Isn't that crazy? Just some things that just happen just go, wow, that's just insane. So we're going to now move this up here, and we want to see, does price stay below the previous day high, or do we just bounce from it and find support above it, and then telling us it still wants to go higher? If you're appreciating the trade commentary, If you're liking the analysis, you appreciate this on-screen trade, hit the like button for me. There's no cost to hitting that like button. It just helps get the word out. And guys, let me tell you this. This touched my heart, okay? Here's why I want you to click the like button, okay? I'm just being real with you, okay? Not for accolades, not for ooh, ah, wows, but I was really touched by this. I don't know if this person's on the stream or not, but an individual reached out to me that has a desire to be a missionary in another country. And I've had multiple pastors and I've had multiple missionaries reach out and choose to learn from what I'm teaching. And I just felt so honored. I felt so honored. And the Lord touched my heart, basically saying, what you're doing here is helping spread the gospel around the world. And man, that just took what I'm doing here to another level. The seriousness of what's on my heart. And I want as many missionaries, pastors, believers around the world that have a desire to reach unreached people groups to be able to be in a position where they can make money through trading, if that's the direction that the Lord's laying on their heart. And so for me, I've known what my mission is. I've known what's been on my heart and the impact I want to have, but it has become more real. It has been not verified, but it's been confirmed just the potential impact that it can have around the world. I just was really taken back and felt loved by the Lord that He would put me in a position to do something like this. So I'm asking you guys to hit the like button, not because I want the likes, but because I want people that are searching for answers or financial freedom, that have a heart to share the gospel around the world, to be able to have that, get that impact, to be able to do that. So I was just really touched by that. That's why I want you to hit the like button. So thank you. We came back up, tag 930. Tag 930, to me, this is algorithmic price action for lower prices. We'll see if it holds. We got the 10 a.m. candle coming up shortly, and then we'll look at the 30-minute time frame to see how we close. My assumption is we're going to close something like this. And if we do close with a downward direction, we're looking for a 3-minute fair value gap it to retrace into and to look for a continuation to the downside. If I'm honest, I'm a little hesitant because, well, we did hit the previous week high. Previous week high, and we do have some room to move lower for sure. Just the way this looks, I feel like it should just explode through this. I would like it to hit this daily fair value gap. These two black lines are the daily fair value gap. I think I really would like that to be tagged. Hey Michael, how you doing? I live stream every day. 5 days a week. Tuesdays, sometimes I'll do in the afternoon session. Nice little reaction right there from 9:30 and that continued push lower. Keep an eye on midnight open, see how it reacts around that level. We really don't have any 3-minute fair value gaps. The only one is way up here. So it'll be interesting to see if price wants to come all the way back up here with the continuation lower, which is really possible for us to do that. Good morning, Ricardo. Good morning, Ricardo. What's up, Alex? Hey, Northern, how's it going? 15-minute fair value gap. I'm assuming this first one inside the hourly BISI that I have marked out. All right, so there is 10 a.m. Let's see if price wants to come back up. I'm really watching this 3-minute fair value gap. I want to see this hold. If you look on the 1-minute time frame, you'll see this 1-minute fair value gap that's sitting right here. That's kind of what I'm looking to see if it wants to come into. I would love for it to stay in the lower quadrant of that 3-minute fair value gap. And it may be too heavy, where it doesn't even reach up there and it just continues to fall. We'll see if it wants to do that or not. I don't know why my TV's not turning on. There it goes. Yeah, Adrian, we're going to be done by 11. We're going to be done here in an hour. I don't want to trade over lunch or anything like that. I expect it to just consolidate or to be very seek and destroy-ish. So right now I have a bias. Our bias for me is lower prices. My bias would be us continuing lower, right? I would like to see that. If I'm going to see that, I have a narrative that I want to see play out. I would like to see price come up to here and then displace lower. That's what I want for me to participate in a move, okay? I don't see that being very likely, but that's what I need for to play the 30-minute reversal. So we have the 30-minute right here. We have the 30-minute candle, wick, swept the highs, closed bearish. We want to see price come back up to roughly around this area right here and then sell off, okay? So we want to get in on the retracement for the continuation lower. So I don't want to go short right here because if it does retrace, well, then I'm going to get stopped out. So we're waiting for this to happen. Once we're in this range, I'm not going to blindly take a trade. I'm going to evaluate what time did we enter this area and does it make sense for us to consider that as a move. We do have this breaker right here, right? So we have this breaker block, which is in the lower quadrant of that 3-minute fair value gap. So I would love for price to come up here, find resistance, and then begin to move in this direction. So that's the trade idea. So until that happens or something new shows up on the chart, we sit with folded hands. We sit, we don't do anything. Done for the day, 35 handles green. Way to go, Northern. Yeah, we took a 30 handle move on the inversion of the first presented fair value gap. Took a short. I got out a little early. Got out at these lows. I wanted it to run a little bit lower. I ended up selling it since I only took one position. This is my story. That is a song. Yes, that's right, Noah. You know, one thing, have you ever woken up with a song in your head? I'm sure you have. I'm sure many of you have. If you've ever woken up with a song in your head and it's not something you listened to the day before, seriously, find it on, YouTube Music and put it and play it. Because many times I've noticed that the Lord will speak to me through a song I just randomly in my head, right? The Lord will use that. I've had very special moments by just following that impression. What's up, Paul? The value of the YouTube community. Well, the value is in the long-term value. There's current value and then there's long-term value. The current value is access to ask me questions at any point in time. Access to the educational content, 50 plus videos on there. That's the value. I would say that's the current value. Long-term value is my desire is to build an uplifting Christian day trading community where people will help each other, encourage each other. We will add more value. I just put a post in my Discord here this morning asking in what ways we can improve it anymore, whether it's doing back testing sessions, whether it's doing pre-market reviews, post-market reviews, trade analysis. All of those will be things that I'll do inside the Discord for the community as I begin to see what people want inside the Discord. So we're still fairly new and growing, so it's going to be evolving. But my goal is that inside this community, we have a faith-filled community that encourages one another, that helps one another. That's my long-term goal. And as it continues to grow, it will become even more valuable in the long run. But that's ultimately what I'm looking for that to do. But I will be adding more and more value to that. There will be a point in time that I will turn live streams most likely inside the Discord only. But I'm not at that point yet, and I don't know when that's going to happen. So there will be a restructuring of the Discord, the course. They may stay separate. They may stay together. They may be moved to separate. There may be a monthly subscription to be a part of it. But I will tell you that whoever has chosen to be a part of the community where it's currently at will be grandfathered in no matter what. So I've already thought through, how do I take care of those that said yes today? How do I take care of those that said yes today? And they're just going to be grandfathered in into whatever I do. So the value, there's current value, and then there's long-term value. And I think if I had an opinion, I think the long-term value will outweigh what it's currently right now, because the amount of savings somebody will get right now compared to what it may be 6 to 12 months from now will be really valuable. I've been a part of Discords where I've seen the price quadruple from what I originally, this was years ago. When I got in, I was paying X amount a month, and then it tripled in price. Let's just say I was paying $50 a month, and they moved their cost to $150 to $200 a month. Right? There's a lot of pricey Discords. Mine right now is free when it's purchased with the Purpose Driven Trader Academy, which is also usually less than most people's as well. I've had multiple people mentioned that it's very reasonably priced. My goal is not to make a killing off of it. I do want to be reimbursed for my time and make a living from it, but I want it to be affordable for people to say yes and take that next step and begin that process of learning, take that process of becoming, improving oneself, improving yourself as a day trader. I'm not saying it's you will never hear me say the only thing you will ever need is this Discord. The only thing you'll ever need is this course. That's just not true. No matter what somebody says as a marketing tactic, it will be a part of the puzzle that will make you profitable. But is it the slam dunk solution? Nobody has that. You're going to get pieces all over, but I do believe that this is a big piece to that puzzle. What's up, Ted? So, Paul, hopefully that answers your question. Give me a thumbs up or let me know. Thanks, Noah. Jay, the main reason is if you're on a live account, you can't have 20 live accounts. You can have one live account. Meaning if I could trade 200, if I can make a $200 trade times 20, that's $4,000. Now, if I make a $200 trade on a live account, I only make $200. Thanks, Northern. I appreciate. Northern is a part of our part of the community. So thank you, Northern, for the compliment. It means a lot, especially somebody that's inside the community. Because I know I've been a part of. I know people will join and then people have their opinions or expectations and think that it should have been one way or another. And I'm developing this as we grow based on the needs of the community and what's important. So when you get a compliment from somebody that's a part of it, it really means a lot to me. Is there any way to just subscribe to the Discord if you already have a good system? Lauren, no, there is not right now. So you can view the Discord as a single cost to be a part of the Discord, or you can get the benefit of the psychology. I also have part of my lectures are Bible verses that have had a significant impact to my trading journey, and I share that psychology in those lectures as well. Ricardo, if you want to be a part of it, my friend, you can go to dtjacademy.com and you'll find that there. There are so many pricey Discords. And quite frankly, guys, I've been a part of probably a dozen. In my own journey, I joined a dozen. I mean, I was committed. You got to understand, like, if there was a cost, if I felt there was a chance for me to improve as a trader, I paid for it. I paid for everything. And there's probably half of them weren't worth it. But I paid for it because I was committed to that process of learning. And there's one Discord. I'm not going to say the name. They're popular. I joined one person's community, and he had like 12 lectures, and they were probably 5 to 10 minutes, and that was it. And I paid $200, $300, $400. I really can't remember what it was. That was it. However, I learned one thing from him inside his lectures. I remember it specifically. I learned one thing in regards to premium and discount that really helped solidify a trait in my trading that I still use today. I've shared it many times. It's about premium and discount, using equilibrium, dealing ranges. But I learned that one thing. Was it worth it? Was that cost worth it? For me, I would say yes. I don't regret paying for anything that I paid for. But the thing that I know that the unique edge that I have right now in the market is that it's lower cost and it's a one-time fee. There's no subscription right now. And I'm involved. I'm in the Discord answering questions and participating and helping people. That's because I want people to succeed. I really do. Breaker is taking a long time to play. Yeah. It's probably going to drop here. It's not going higher at all. And because of the time, it's 10:17. I'm probably going to wait till 11 o'clock to see if we get an 11 o'clock push up to this level. But because we're going to have to reevaluate the 30-minute model. the 30-minute reversal model. Once we get to about 10:30, we'll reevaluate it to see where things are at. But you can see that we've had just an aggressive move here to here, and then we basically have decided to consolidate here. I mean, you look at the 1 minute, even looks worse. I would not want to be a part of this. So we'll be patient and wait for some reaction here. That's right, Jay. No more PA accounts once you go live. You get to keep what you have. So if you get the live signal, I don't know what they're going to do. This is why I'm keeping track of it right now. And just watching to see how things play out. But if you get the email, my understanding is you keep all your evals and you keep all your PA accounts. But if you lose them, you don't get any new ones. So you don't want to lose them. Thank you, Lauren. I appreciate it. Yes, Noah, I'm waiting. You could take, yes, I understand we've wicked back up into the breaker right here. If you look, I bet you it looks better on the 15-minute. So we did wick up on this 15-minute candle. We did wick up into the midpoint or into this breaker. This breaker's lowers right here, right? But we also have a 15-minute fair value gap right here that's overlapping with the previous day high. And it's just consolidating right now that I don't want to participate in it. I really like this though right here. Look at this order block right here. This candle right here, it comes to the midpoint. I would love to see it retag the previous day high again. I think that would be nice. I don't think we're going to get it though. We'll see. But when you see this, you have to stay out. You just can't, you just don't trade it, period. Even if it turns into a move, don't trade it. Think about it, all right? Let's assume you get in a trade right here, okay? This was your entry, that black line. Do you know how much emotional toil you'd be going through? Oh, it's in my favor. Oh no. Oh, what's going to happen? Oh no. Oh, finally. Oh no, it's going against me. Okay, it's not going higher. Please go lower. Please go lower. Oh, it's going lower. Oh no, what's going on? Oh my gosh, this is just horrible. What's going to happen? Oh, thank you, Jesus. Oh, and then, okay. All right, it's staying. I'm still green. I'm still green. Oh no, what's going to happen? Oh, thank you, Jesus. I just don't want to be in this. Because in addition to that, price could wick up higher still. All right, there's midnight open. Let's see how it reacts here. Here's the only reason why I would say you would not care about this is if you got in around this level right here, 953, right at 930, when it wicked up into this level here. Okay, we took a short right here based on the 30-minute reversal, I believe. Yeah, right there. And ended up selling it. Did I do that or did I just talk about that? Honestly, I can't remember, guys. But if you were in here, Okay? No, we didn't take it. We didn't take it because it wasn't 10 o'clock yet. But if you got in here at 9:30 when it wicked up to this level and tagged this 3-minute fair value gap, well then, yeah, you can hold through all of this. And you should learn to hold through all of this. But if your entry is in here, that's where you don't want to mess around with it. You want to get out and wait. Meaning the opportunity was here. The trade in here is just going to be dumb. It's not worth the emotional toil. If you're up here, you move your stop to break even, and then you go, all right, I'm going to hold. I'm going to hold. I'm going to hold. I'm going to hold. I'm not going to change it. I think it's going to run here. I think it's going to go here. And you hold until you hit your target. Right? We're already below this level. The next area of interest is the midnight open. So this is where I would have sold either the position or a portion of it. And you can see right away how reactive that midnight open was. We tagged midnight open and then boom, we're pushing back higher. Back inside of all of this stuff. But the only opportunity for an entry would have been up here around this breaker area, because all of this back and forth would have been, you would have been in the green. And you just have to learn to exercise patience and hold your position through the back and forth, because there's no reason why it's saying you should get out. Right? When I'm getting out, or what I need to work on better, is when we hit these swing lows, that's a reason price could reverse. And I have to take profit at these swing lows. Same with midnight open. So we get all of this. There's no reason for us to get out. No reason. Now, there is a reason for us to take a partial or take off your trade completely. Why? Because we hit a key level. Now, sometimes we don't know what those key levels are, and you'll learn from that. You'll get stopped out at break even because price, once it hits a key level, man, they're aggressive. We see an aggressive move. Now, doesn't mean it can't continue. I'm just saying it will give you a reaction, and you don't know if it's going to reverse or just give a retracement and then continue lower. So you take partials at those levels. Pay yourself. Paul, thank you, my friend. I'm excited. I'll send. You'll get an email from me. And there should be a link to the Discord, and then looking forward to connecting with you there. I have people that will send me a message, kind of just giving me, a little bit of their story. If you want to share. If you don't want to, no problem. But thanks for joining, man. No, Gavel, it's the first month, and then it goes to $88 the second month. So here's how I would treat Apex accounts. Okay, I treat them on a 30-day basis. Annual or lifetime, Noah. That's what I'm saying. Like, there will be a point. So in the last 45 days, I've grown from 4,500 subscribers to now we're over 20,000 subscribers on YouTube. As I continue to grow as a channel, it'll obviously become more popular. and the more popular it becomes, the more demand there is. That's just what happens, right? Prices for things go up. So right now, if you're here, you're going to have more of a benefit to get a better value than somebody that finds me 6 months or a year from now. Thanks, Ricardo. I appreciate it, my friend. I look forward to it. I'm always looking for, I want more people to engage. I want more people to ask questions, to help other traders in the community. And I'm just going to be honest. There's something different about believers coming together, more of a willingness to help each other, to respond, to participate in discord in a good way, that I think there's going to be such a unique factor to this community in the long run. So I'm excited long term where this is going to go. NQ's flat. Yeah, nothing's going on here, folks. This is why I'm saying, like, we're at 10:30 right now. 36 seconds. We'll look and see if there's any potential entries. We're not going to take a trade at 10:30, but we will look at the higher time frame. I'm getting more into a habit of every 30 minutes looking at the 30-minute, every hour looking at the hourly chart to get a higher time frame perspective. Yes, for those that are interested, I don't know if that works or not, Matthew. Noah, I don't trade gold. I watch gold. I think, honestly, I'm just such in a habit of sticking with NQ that I haven't. I will probably, if I'm honest with you, I think it will be something I trade in the future. But just because the only thing I've ever really done is the Nasdaq, that's the main reason why I haven't traded anything else. Because I want it, if I'm going to learn to trade, okay, this is the logic. If I'm going to learn to trade and I'm going to be profitable, do I have a greater chance of profitability by jumping from asset to asset or sticking to one? Sticking to one asset and mastering my trading model in that asset. You have a higher probability of success that way. So, number one, I don't do it because I've learned to trade the Nasdaq. And number two, if I'm teaching other people, you can use these concepts on other assets. But if I'm going from one asset to the other, while the concepts work, it is more difficult to learn when it comes to just understanding how price moves. Now, if we switch between maybe just two or three, I probably don't have a problem with that. And if I was to trade three, it would be ES, Nasdaq, and gold. Those are probably the only three that I would consider trading. Just yesterday, I should have traded ES yesterday. We took a long on the Nasdaq because ES gave us a signal, and NQ didn't move at all, and ES ran. So I should have took the trade on ES, and I didn't. You know what, Ted? You know, even though it's grueling, embrace the grueling, my friend. Because if you want to learn to get those bigger trades, you have to be able to sit and stuff like this, because very rarely do you just get giant black candles or giant green candles that just move straight to your target, right? Yeah, so if Noah, if you want, While we're on stream, if you ever want me to take a look at gold, I'll do that. I don't have a problem doing that, especially when we're looking and market's doing this. I mean, there's absolutely nothing going on right now. So here's gold right here. That doesn't look very good either. This is the 15-minute time frame, and look at all those wicks. I don't want to be in that. That doesn't look very good. We also did sweep this low right here. Mitigation block hit right there and breaker tagged right there. So I do think we see lower prices on gold. We made a higher high into this volume imbalance on Friday. On Tuesday, we sold off, grabbed the low, but closed inside the range. So I would want to see all of this ran, but my guess is this is going to be reserved for Thursday or Friday. Here's the daily. So we did wick into this once and pushed higher, hit this volume imbalance. So seeing how we're going ping, 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 this could be an inside day easily. So nothing looks good on gold, to be honest. NQ looks a little bit better. Actually, that's probably something I will do inside the Discord. Teaching real estate investments, Gavel. Long term, it's nothing right now. When there's enough desire or demand for it, then I probably will. My wife and I were going over some real estate investment stuff just yesterday, deciding out how we wanted to do it. I have 4 doors, 4 rental properties or rental units that I own. All right, so 30-minute. We run this low, close inside, but we're in the middle of a range. This technically is a potential reversal signal. I'm not too fond of it, to be honest, considering this right here. Whoops. Considering this candle right here. So I think there's not much we could do. Let's just take a look. 10 o'clock or 10:30. Let's see if it gives us an entry. Yeah, there's nothing there. The testing of your faith produces perseverance. Danielle, or Daniel, yes, that is the only way. John, take care, my friend. A slow grind lower. There's just nothing to take in there, guys. There's just nothing. If you're here for the first time, give us a wave. Say hi in the chat. All right, so if we close below this fair value, this hourly fair value gap, if we close below that, I think that's our cue on where price is going to want to go. It'll do something like this probably. And I'm guessing over here is Thursday and Friday. So we do something like this. Thursday, Friday. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Something like that. Remember, if you look on ES, we still have Friday's EQ on the weekly range. If you look on NQ, same thing. Like, we have this area down here that I really want to be rebalanced. I do think we go higher long term, but like, I think we need to do this. And that's kind of what I'm waiting for. How long it takes to do this, I'm not sure. I mean, you look at this. Look at that nastiness. That was just not fun. Thanks, you elite whisperers. How you doing? Is it a Pumex? Is it an eval or is it a performance account? How much did you make? A lot or a little? Ted, I'd be done too. Look at all this low resistance. All this is perfect for a fast move higher. This is perfect for a fast move higher. So I'm watching this order block right here to see if this holds. More than likely, Plumix, you'll be fine as long as you didn't make large amounts of cash. No, you're fine. If you lost $500, that's okay. Where they really will get you is if you had a bunch of random trades and you had big wins, like $1,000 wins. That's gambling. They don't want they penalize you on the gains of gambling, not the losses, because you hurt yourself in your gambling losses. So they don't discipline you for your losses, because if you go below the threshold, you blow the account. So they don't penalize losses, they penalize the gains. So ultimately, you don't want to trade that way anyway. But I'll add this, Plumix. For those of you that can relate to what Plumix is saying, if you've gambled, meaning you're just taking random trades, thinking you're trying to catch the winning move, okay? You're just doing this, and you've had losses, wins, losses. You need to journal that, and you need to remember how you felt during this whole time of doing that, okay? You might be relieved right now if you're green. But if you're red, then you're going to feel that just like ickiness of like what you did, how you did it, the desire to want to get it back. You want to take revenge. You want to fix the problem. You want to get rid of that feeling. You want to feel better. Remember all of that took place in here. Journal it. And then every morning before you trade, you need to remember this. Remember what you did. Remember how that felt. Remember how those actions resulted in those feelings, so that you're aware of tendencies that you have that put you in those positions. Many times we know that we have a tendency to do A, B, and C, but because it's not on the forefront of our mind, we really don't realize it until after we're in it again. And then we deal with all those emotions. We go, oh yeah, I know this, I know that, all this sucks, But the goal is to be aware of it before it happens so you can prevent it. So I'm learning to I'm working on this is currently what I'm doing. I'm working on identifying major mistakes in my trading that I've had that have hurt me a lot emotionally as well as financially. And I'm trying to relive those experiences in a way to remember how it felt so I don't do it again. Now, I'm not just trying to focus on the negative, but I'm trying to take that negative feeling, identify it, and then in a controlled environment through just reliving that while I'm just reviewing my trades, doing my journaling, I then address how I'm feeling in that moment with correct theology, with correct trading psychology in that moment. So I get myself into that feeling of that trade again. I'm remembering all the mistakes that I made. I'm trying to get that feeling that I experienced again. And then from that point, I remember it and then I address it. And I go, no, that's not how you are. I don't trade that way. And then you bring yourself out of that state of thought. You bring yourself out so that you're aware of what happened. You're aware of the mistakes that were made. You're aware of the feeling and you know how to pull yourself out. So when you're here and you haven't started to spiral yet or go on tilt, but you're at that point, you can pull yourself out of it. You're like, oh, I remember this. Oh, I know what happens here. And you pull yourself out of it to then get in the right mindset again, to either walk away from the trades altogether or to recenter yourself so that you can take an appropriate trade without those feelings. So that's something that I'm currently in the process of working on, putting together my list of major wins, major losses, major revenge trades, major gambling sessions. Just trying to identify those. And some of them I honestly can't remember because they've been so long or they've been so many and I just can't remember. And I'm trying to put together that list. Because success, despite everything that I share in the Discord, everything I share in the Trading Academy, it's only going to help to a certain degree. I'm going to help you read the market, but you can read the market and still fail as a trader because you don't have right psychology. And the only person that can teach you psychology is yourself. The only person that can pull you out of the state that you're in is yourself. You're in control of that. Nobody can solve that one for you. I can help give you strategies and position, but you're the one that has to do it. Man, we're getting absolutely nothing. It's just all sitting inside this range here. What strategy do you recommend if you can only trade London because of work at the moment? I'll show you. Everything that I teach works there. Oh man, there's one trade. It was this week, I believe. Right here. All right, so this is the 30-minute model. This was on Monday. This is prices moving lower. This is 4:30 in the morning, okay? 4:30 in the morning, towards the end of London session, we get this candle that closes right in here, right at 5 o'clock. So I already have previous week equilibrium tagged. This is strategy for London session. I don't look at YM, by the way, Mike, not at all. We close inside this candle right here, okay? So now I'm on the 30-minute. I'm dropping down to the 3-minute. I'm looking at the 3-minute. What day was I on? The 19th. Okay, I just want to make sure. All right, so here's your reversal. So there's our 30-minute sweep. Actually, I need to make that. Give me a second. I'm gonna There's our 30-minute sweep right here, okay? Now that we've done that, we're looking for a 3-minute fair value gap after 5 a.m. So where's 5 a.m.? 5 a.m. is right here. So at 5 a.m., look what price does at 5 a.m. We see price drop into this fair value gap, this 3-minute fair value gap right here. That's your entry. So your entry would be at 5 a.m. and you can decide how long you wanted to hold that. Okay? You could have just ran to these relatively equal highs right here. If you would have done that, it would have looked like this. Your entry, target, equal highs, 43 handles, stop loss at the low, 13 handles, boom. You're in that trade for 30 minutes. Same strategies work in the London session as they do the New York session. What most people make the mistake on is they don't wait for key levels. They don't wait for significant points of interest. This is. So when we run it here, now we are saying, okay, I'm going to look for an opportunity. It's the exact same thing that we did here. We hit this level today, the previous week high, and I said, oh, okay, it hit that level. It's aggressive. Let's look for an opportunity. Inversion, okay, I'm going to go short right here. Run low, 30 handles in 3 minutes. That's the trade I took here today on stream. Same thing. What people miss is understanding price needs to hit a significant point of interest before we see a real reversal or a real retracement. That's just the mistake people make constantly. Is they go, oh, look at this. We swept this high right here. Oh, look at that candle. Oh, I'm going to go short right here. And then it just explodes higher because the previous week high is a key level. So previous day high, previous week high, London highs and lows, 15-minute, 4-hour, hourly fair value gaps, all significant points of interest that you want to pay attention to. So right now, we have this hourly. So why do I have this hourly on here? I want to see if we're going to close below this in the next 4 minutes. Because if we close below it, that's another notch on the belt telling us that it's wanting to run lower. If it doesn't, it just means we may get a bigger retracement staying here for a little bit, or it just didn't do it and it's still going to run lower. That's how we view those things. $15, Leo. I hit my target of weekly high for today. What made you take the short? Just curious. The first presented fair value gap right here. That and the weekly high is a key level. So I look for reversals when we hit those levels. If I was on here this morning at 5:45, I would have looked for a reversal when we hit this London high. Did we get one? No. It just pumped right through it. So when it pumps through it, you go, oh, all right, London high is irrelevant. Forget London high, who cares? That's what this shows right here. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for those points of interest that tell us price wants to do something. Right here, we're in the middle of a range. There's nothing going on in here. Why? I can't do anything in here. So if price literally is going to do what you're seeing right here, guess what I'm not going to do? I'm not going to take a trade. My conviction for staying away from these is growing day by day. I can't tell you how many times I would have taken a trade just a year ago and all this crap. I would have saw this inversion right here and I would have tried to go long. I would have saw this inversion right here and I would have tried to go short. I would have saw this inversion right here. I would have tried to go long. short, long, long. I mean, I would have tried to get all of that. And look what it did. Nothing. Because all I had to do is look at this and say, you know what? That looks like crap. I'm not going to participate in anything down here. Now, at this point, London low or the midnight open right here, I would have been like, okay, look at that aggression. We just hit that level. Look at this inversion. All right, let's see what happens. I'm paying attention, right? I'm paying attention because we hit a point of interest. And now I'm going, oh, okay, what's going to happen? Sideways. Oh, crap. Nothing. Okay. I'm not going to do anything. It runs lower right here and comes back up inside of all of this. Okay. Nothing. I thought maybe midnight open was going to be a point of interest. Well, it's not right now. It's not. So now I ignore it and I find my next point of interest. And that right now is, how do we close on this hourly BISI? Do we close below it or above it? And we just closed above it by a few ticks, by a few handles, right? So there it is right there. We go to the hourly. See, there is the close. We closed inside it. So that's telling me, all right, it's not as aggressive to the downside as I wanted it to be. It could still go, but I was just looking for that extra level of confluence, and we didn't get it. Okay, so now what do we do here? All right, well, let's go to the 30-minute. We got an expansion candle that closed outside of the previous candle, so no 30-minute. So now I'm looking at the 1-minute. I'm looking at the 5-minute, and I'm going, okay, well, my best option, considering that we just filled this hourly SIBI, we could reverse. If I'm going to be interested in, I need it to break outside of this range. What's the most likely level for us to do that? I would say a 5-minute change in state of delivery. A 5-minute change in state of delivery puts a 5-minute candle close above this level here. If we close above this, I would say there's a decent probability we're going to run this low resistance liquidity that was created over the last hour. And there could be a trade opportunity up to this 15-minute time frame. So what did I just share with you guys? I'm taking you guys one step at a time. One step at a time. All right. I'm looking for we first started by looking for price to come up to the 3-minute. Oh, didn't get it. All right, we're consolidating. I'm going to wait. All right, let's see what happens when it hit midnight open. Nothing? Okay. We have the hourly close. Did we close below it? Nope. Okay, now what? 5-minute change in state of delivery? Okay, I'll consider it. So we went from, we're taking A, we're going to B, we're going to C. We're evaluating what's happening in the charts and trying to make an assessment based on a higher time frame narrative on what price wants to do. And what's that higher time frame narrative? For me, it's we ran the high and we're going to sell off and run lower. Well, we do need to get some type of retracement before that happens, in my opinion. How much? Well, maybe it was just to get to this wick. Maybe we're doing an immediate rebalance right here on the hourly time frame and we continue lower. Well, if that's the case, well, guess what's not going to happen? We're probably not going to get a 5-minute change in state of delivery. That means that idea is now out the window. So we shuffle through higher and lower time frames, putting together potential ideas of what could happen with price. And when something meets my idea, I'm interested. So I'm looking at the 15-minute chart. I already know that I'm interested in a 5-minute. What else do I see? Well, I see this breaker right here on the 15-minute chart. The high, low, higher high, displacement lower. Ted played it earlier. He played it right off the bat. But it could be retested here by coming into the 15-minute and then sell off. Okay, I now have another idea that I can put a trade behind if price plays out in that direction. What do I have to do? I have to wait for confirmation. I first have to wait for the 5 minute. If I get the 5 minute and I get some structure, I may be able to play that trade up to this level. Or maybe you don't want to play against the trend. If the trend is actually going to go lower, if price is in fact wanting to go lower and that's what you believe, well, maybe you don't want to take this trade. Maybe you want to wait for it to get up here, confirm that it wants to stop, and then take the trade back down. That trade could be more aggressive. These trades right here tend to be a little bit slower and a little more lethargic in nature, requiring you to be more patient. These trades tend to be more aggressive. Now, I'm not saying we're going to get this trade, but we just put together an idea and a plan that we can actually potentially take a trade off of. Now, 5 minutes is going to close in 23 seconds. If it's going to close in 23 seconds, well, then that tells me I might have an opportunity. So I have the change in state of delivery. I'm going to drop down to the 1 minute, and I'm going to see what do I have as an opportunity. Okay? There's all this low resistance liquidity right here. If we don't get a retracement, then I don't take the trade. If we get a retracement back down to the 5 minute change in state of delivery, guess what that 5 minute change in state of delivery also is? It's a breaker. We have a low high, lower low, displacement, fair value gap overlapping with the breaker. I could use this as a potential long. If we don't get it, we don't get it. If we get it, you take the risk that price does want to move higher, does want to run the slow resistance liquidity, and you take a risk on the trade. That's it. That's how you do it. It's step 1, step 2, step 3. Take risk, manage that risk, take the trade. If it plays out, great. If it doesn't, you had an idea, you had a plan, and you executed on it, and it just didn't work out. We call that a negative winner. Negative winners are great. They're not great for your P&L, but it's great on you being able to identify the plan, executing on the plan, and not FOMOing or revenge trading after it plays out. You did something right. So that's what we're looking at here. So if price comes down into here, I'm going to take a risk of a small long. Now I'm going light because I'm not interested in risking my green day that I have so far. All right, so I'm in this long. We're going to set a 15 handle stop loss. And we'll see if this plays out. Literally, we just talked about what the potentials could be. And now that we have something show up, you have to execute on it. You take the risk. You have to take the risk somehow. And what do I like about this? If you look here, look at all that low resistance, man. Look at all those just swing highs. I like that to aggressively run that quickly. That just looks nice. Let's see if we can get it. Right now I have a 15-point stop loss. You could do 20. Depends on what you want to do. I'm risking right now $30. I could go down to 20 if you want to risk $40. So 20 for a 20-point move. That's not unreasonable. At a minimum, you want a 1-to-1 risk to reward. We'll decide if we want to move it based on how the candle moves there. No, it's not gambling if you have a plan. I'm going to move this. I want this below. Man, that's a big stop loss. I kind of want it below this, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to put it at the low of this order block. If we go below this order block, I want to be out of the trade. So it's set at 19 handles is my stop loss. That's where I'm not going to move it from there. I want this order block to hold for me. I want it to show that it wants to move higher. And this is a order block that would show that. An order block, fair value gap, and a breaker. So the fair value gap was inverted. That's one strike against us. Now we want to see, does this order block hold, and do we see price move back higher? Sunset, 100%. Yeah, I'm taking this trade with the expectation that it may be choppy. It has been choppy the last hour, but I have something that I really like. I like this now that we came out of, for price to run aggressively through it. That's the idea, with the supporting 5-minute change in state delivery, breaker, and 1-minute order block, and the lack of closing below this hourly SIBI. We'll see if it wants to do it. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. If we get stopped out, we get stopped out. But we followed a plan and we had a negative winner. "100%, Matthew. That is exactly what you have to do. And when it's a loss, it's how do you handle that loss? So right now, it's not going in our favor. We'll see what it wants to do. We just don't put our hands on it. We don't try to manipulate. We don't average down on a loser. Last thing you want to do is average down on a loser and take a bigger loss. So we just let it play out. And if we get stopped out, we go, all right, I'm done. Let's call it a day. All right. This is it. There it is. All right, so we got stopped out. There's the idea. The idea failed. And as you do this over and over and over again, you get better at identifying better setups. Maybe we look at this and go, you know what? I probably shouldn't have taken that because of the Fed rate announcement that's coming up. Maybe that's it. Or maybe you go, you know what? That was just a good trade and it just didn't work out. I don't regret taking that trade. That was decent. We also had a breaker, a bullish breaker that we came into here. Maybe we just got wicked out because we had too tight of a stop and now it's going to run in our favor. Maybe that's it too. Those are the hardest ones and you can't chase it. Don't chase them. Okay? But this is the process of growing as a trader. We took a trade, we got knocked up in the chin, we go ahead and we say, you know what? I'm going to pass, I'm going to learn from it, we journal it, and we move on. My guess is we're still probably going to move higher. And it wanted to reach down into this last 1 minute fair value gap. That's why I really wanted to move my stop loss a little bit lower, was because of that right there. But I didn't, right? I said it was a little too much because if it does run through this, man, the stop on that bad boy would have been a lot bigger. So I can use this as a lesson. I can say, all right, well, it didn't go for the first one. It reached for the second one, and then maybe it's going to run. So I journal this and I say, all right, I need to decide next time, do I want to take the risk for going for the lower fair value gap, taking the entry here, being willing that it goes this low, or do I want to wait for the lower one next time? But just based on how this candle closed when it reached into there, tells me there's a potential for it to go in the other direction. It may not. It's choppy. It's back and forth. But because it's choppy, I'm not going to re-enter the trade and assume I'm going to get perfect price action that goes in my favor. You get in let's say you just get in short or long right here. Well, it could reach back down and keep going. Who knows? I'm expecting it to do this, but we already took a loss, and we don't want to revenge trade or try to get FOMO because we think now it's going to go higher. We just take the loss. Yeah, you could do a smaller position size. I was already doing the smallest position size you could. So if you do more contracts, do smaller one. See, can you imagine you taking another long here and now you're in the red again? This is why you don't re-enter a trade that you already lost on. Maybe your whole idea was wrong. Don't re-enter trades that you took a loss on. What's up, Big Baddie? How you doing, my friend? So hopefully that was helpful, guys. We're going to end it here. We'll be back here tomorrow, 9:15 New York Standard Time, rocking and rolling. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Hopefully you appreciated the commentary, the insight, the on-screen loss, the on-screen win. Today we went 1 for 1. We had one winner at the open, and then we took this as a loss right here. But we will end today. And with that, guys, God bless, stay safe, and we'll see you all tomorrow. Take care.